Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the Fixers channel. We got another one. We got a few of them today. I'm gonna make a couple videos. 2016, 16? Yeah, Ford Exploder. Problem on this one is she's driving down the road, and again she hears a helicopter, like a roaring sound, and gets faster as she goes faster. It gets slower as she slows down. So immediately I thought it was a wheel bearing. I know I've done a couple of wheel bearing videos. This one, I'm going to show you in this one how easy these are. So I figured I'd bring you guys along and let's do it. Alright, step one is going to be remove all the lug nuts and see if the tire. Oh. Stuck. Oh, there we go. Gotta be honest with you, I wasn't planning on that. If you guys are lucky enough, if you have a Ford Explorer and it is only a front wheel drive, it makes this job a whole heck of a lot easier. You know, it's just some extra steps you don't have to go through in order to remove the actual. There's no rear axle. So it's just a front wheel drive, so this is going to be pretty simple, pretty easy to get. I can just tell by looking at this vehicle, this is not a Arizona vehicle, especially being a 2016, because it's got pretty good amount of rust, is what we consider rust. It's just like light corrosion, I guess. It's all a little bit of rust. That's why that wheel was stuck on there. So we got to make sure we got to clean this face. Hopefully that screw comes out, and let's see what the next step is. Alright, so first thing what we're going to do is we're going to remove, now you can choose to take the caliper off and move it, then the caliper bracket. This style right here, these pistons don't push in, they actually screw out and in. That's how this setup works. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take off the caliper bracket as a whole assembly and just get it out of the way, just so I can get some room. We're going to take a 15 millimeter. So two 15 millimeter bolts. What we're going to do now is we're going to pull the whole assembly off. Hopefully we can. Let's get a little screwdriver so we can pull it off. Now that might hurt us. We might have to pull it apart when we put it back on. That's the little amount of rust that's holding us up. Take this, get it up out of the way, and I can just rest right there. Let's see if so now that we got this loose, measure torques. So now that we got everything torn apart, or we got the screw out, now we have to get the hub off the flange here, which is probably going to take a we're going to have to hit it right here, see if we can break this thing loose. But what we'll do is we'll take a lug nut, just put it on there, that way when we hit it, it doesn't come flying off. So just find any little hammer, and we're going to hit it right here a couple of times, see if we can jar it loose. There we go. And that's just the surface rust that's holding it on there. You can see all the rust here. Oh yeah, she's noisy. There's your inside your rotor, which doesn't look too bad. She's not here for brakes. The car's only got 45,000 miles on it. So now what we do here is it's got the 4 bolts that come out. I think they look like they're... So now what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the speed sensor also. Can't forget that. That one technically doesn't have to come out because it's actually behind it. But you don't want to, you know, break the sensor by not taking out one simple bolt. 8mm bolt. Sensor should just come right out. In a perfect world. There you go. There's your sensor. We'll make sure we clean the tip off also. I'm going to take an 18mm. We're going to take these 4 bolts out. Jeez. So after we got all 4 bolts out, which they came out pretty hard, we have to separate the hub from the actual spindle. Now you guys got to be careful. This is all made out of aluminum, so if you go to hit it with a hammer and you hit one of these, you will probably break one of these off. So we're just gonna soak this down here for whatever it's worth. Give it a couple taps. The good thing about this one is that we have access to the back. Sometimes if you pound it back on, hit it off again. So that took about 45 minutes to get that hub off with me. You can see how badly distorted that is where I was trying to hit it. And all around here, these suckers, this is obviously a metal case. This is aluminum. A lot of corrosion builds up in here. Here in Arizona, we don't have that issue, but when these cars come from other places, it just locks it in place. So with just me hitting it on the back and pretty much just working it back and forth, we got it out. And I just kind of took the wheezy wheel to it. Just gonna clean this up. Hey son, can you get me the part? I'll take it. Over here. Over here. Over here. Come on, come on, you can do it. Ah, okay. The part number we're going. Timken. So, little word of advice: if you can't get a factory part, as in terms of wheel bearings, try to get Timken. These are really good, high quality. I even think Timken even makes some of the bearings for the original manufacturers. Usually if I can't get a dealership one, or sometimes too, the dealership ones, the Ford ones, the factory ones, they're like stupid expensive. They'll be, you know, almost 400 bucks or whatever. I'm not saying that's what this is, but in times in other vehicles I've had where they're just like stupid crazy expensive, and you get a Timken ones and they're, you know, half the cost or something, you know. So we're gonna get the new one here.
Is that the one you just knocked out?
This is the one I just knocked out, that's right. So believe it or not, on these Ford Exploders, the one bearing, actually it's all the same all the way around. So just buy one bearing and you can do fronts or rear, whether or not if they're four-wheel drive or two-wheel drive. They're all the same. It doesn't matter. So then take some WD here and just kind of soak it up. See how hard this one goes in. It should just go in. Shouldn't take much. And right there. Take our 4 bolts. We're going to put our 4 bolts back in. You saw me take them out. I don't know if my face is dirty or not. I'm just going to put these back in. We're going to torque these down to 72 foot-pounds. So after we got the 4 bolts torqued in, don't forget to put back your little speed sensor. Just going to clean just the tip off of it. Make sure there's nothing on it. Slip her back in the hole. So we're going to take our rotor and then we're just going to line up the hole for the Torx after we clean up the backside. Snug that up. So nice and quiet, nice and smooth. We're going to put the caliper back down. We're lucky the brake pads didn't move. We'll put that out. Okay, we got that on. Make sure these caliper bolts are good and tight. So what we're gonna do now is just put the wheel on, take it for a drive, and she's all done. So, all right, guys. So that's it. That's how you change a rear wheel hub bearing assembly on a 16 Ford Exploder. The only difference between a 2-wheel drive and a 4-wheel drive is that you would have the actual axle coming out here with the nut, and hope that doesn't get seized inside where the splines are at. Other than that, that's pretty much it. It was pretty straightforward, pretty easy, other than just the rust that was built up inside, and they normally just come off, but obviously this isn't a Arizona truck. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Please leave a comment or a question below. Click the notification bell. And remember, guys, you keep breaking them, I'll keep fixing them. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. All right.